In today's episode, Dennis asks, what existing marketing processes or tasks do you expect AI to help speed up or eliminate? The answer to this question is maddeningly vague yet incredibly specific, and that is this: anything that is repetitive. Artificial intelligence, machine learning specifically, with all of its categories, deep learning, reinforcement learning, etc., is really good at learning repetitive processes. So anything that you do in marketing is a candidate for replacement by AI if it's a repetitive task. Consider the process of, for example, scheduling social media posts, right? This is a very repetitive thing. Um, at Brain Trust Insights, we use code that I wrote to help with a lot of the analysis of what content to share, the creation of the files to batch upload for the foundation, the framework of social posts. This is not does not handle the interactions, the engagement with people, but it does handle the skeleton of, hey, here's some interesting stuff we thought you might find useful. I have worked at other companies and other firms where there's some poor person, usually the most entry-level person, who's copying and pasting between spreadsheets for clients or customers for their social media, which is a soul-crushing job. And so that is 100% up for grabs for machines to take over, and rightfully so. It's really not work that helps leverage the true power of the human mind. When we look at things like analytics and reporting, reporting is another candidate for, hey, have you done this job before? Sure have. Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Do some basic math and some spreadsheets and things. That is all stuff that are candidates for AI to either speed up or just eliminate entirely. Even things that you would think of as creative aren't necessarily all that creative. At another company I was at, the creative team was making advertisements for clients, and the clients had very strict brand standards. These are the words and phrases you may use. These are the words and phrases you may not use. These are the images you may use. These are the images you may not use. Guess what? All that meant that very talented, highly paid graphic design staff were copy paste, copy paste, copy paste the same text and images, with some variation in terms of alignment, where you put the text on the picture of the image, of the client stuff. But at the same time, it's like it's not really that creative. So your benchmarks for what AI can speed up or eliminate are things that require no creativity or very little creativity, things that are rote, that are mechanical in nature, things that are highly repetitive. Uh, in fact, things that are really, really repetitive probably should have already been automated. If it's exactly the same thing over and over again, you don't need AI for that. That's robotic process automation. And frankly, you don't even need RPA. You could just write some very simple scripts, or if you're on a Mac, you could use that little automator application, and that would do the job just as well. Where AI will benefit the acceleration of process automation is in dealing with some level of ambiguity. So it's not exactly the same task each time, but it's close. It's within tolerances. For example, if you're writing an email newsletter and the email newsletter's content is 80% the same general stuff, you can have code do that for you. And maybe you do the one-off introduction or the CEO's perspective or whatever the case may be. But the bulk of it is still repetitive. If you are summarizing blog posts, guess what? Text summarization is 100% automatable by machine learning, and in fact is one of the best applications for it. If you were to, something I'm actually personally working on myself right now, is building a summarization algorithm that can identify the most relevant pieces of text within a large piece of text and summarize it down to a sentence or two, because I want my newsletter to have more depth to it, but at the same time I don't want to read all 500 articles that I scan each week. So how can I build an algorithm to do that and accommodate for the variations in language and topic but at the same time still deliver value to the reader. So if you are summarizing documents, there's technology available on the market today that you can use. It all comes down to repetition. One of the things I say in my talks is, if you do it with a template today, a machine does it without you tomorrow. So if you've ever Googled for an Instagram template, a Facebook template, a marketing budget template, a strategy template, marketing framework, inbound strategy or inbound template, guess what? All of those things are things that you can 100% automate through machine learning, because if it's already in a structured, canned document, it's up for grabs. The machines can do it. Which leads to the flip side of this coin, is what are the things that AI will not replace? Creativity, true creativity. Coming up with something net new out of whole cloth is something that machines will not be doing for quite some time. Anything dealing with human emotions in a tangible way, and in an interactive way as opposed to an analytical way, is up for grabs. So that means things like empathy and judgment. Machines are not real good at that. And in particular, machines are really struggling to understand sarcasm. I saw a comment the other day on a Facebook post. Someone posted this political thing, and one of the commenters, and I know this person and I know their political orientation, commented, "This is great." And they meant it in exactly that tone. This is great. The machine has no other context to go on. The machine doesn't know that person's actually being sarcastic and saying this is actually terrible. There's no emoji, there's no other context, and so there's still that broad awareness that general intelligence, human general intelligence has, that machines don't have yet. So empathy, judgment, that general life experience, and in many ways that human-to-human connection is still not something that we're going to automate. The exception being, and this is something I've said often, if your customer experience is so terrible, so awful, that a completely automated, soulless response would be an improvement, then yes, that's a candidate for replacement. But I would argue that if your customer experience is that bad, your entire company is a candidate for replacement by a competitor. The exception being places where there is no competition, such as the Department of Motor Vehicles. Boy, would we all love to automate that. And so that's what AI will speed up and eliminate. It will eliminate terrible customer service by setting a minimum bar of competency. Say, this was guaranteed mediocrity. You'll have a guaranteed mediocre interaction with a chatbot. But if that's better than the terrible experience, everybody's happier. There's so much more to dig into, so check on the videos that I just put up on AI strategy and things like that as well. And be sure to check out the Fuse Digital Conference as well, which I'll be speaking about this topic later this year. As always, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and the newsletter, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. If you want help with your company's data and analytics, visit braintrustinsights.com today and let us know how we can help you.